Mrs. Claus, oh my gosh, you're here. I'm so excited
to see you, Laura. How are you?
I've got goosebumps. I'm just so happy you're here.
I just got in from the North Pole, and forgive me if I'm a little bit late. I apologize.
No apology necessary. Come on, let's get you comfortable and settled in.
Oh, Laura, this tree is just beautiful.
Oh, thank you. We had lots of elves help put this tree up this year.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
It just puts me and keeps me in the Christmas spirit. It is just gorgeous.
Well, good.
Let me explain to you about Santa, and I apologize so much, but you know, this is Christmas Eve, and it's at the last minute, and all these emergencies are happening. No matter how many years you've been doing this, there's always emergencies. And Santa is very busy up at the North Pole and wasn't able to come down.
Well, we really miss him being here, but we are still so thrilled that you're here.
Well, thank you.
So
very,
welcome
very
to our
much.
campus, and we're just thrilled. So you give him a hug from all of us when you get back, and tell him next year we expect him to join you.
I certainly will let him know.
And where are you in Santa living these days?
Well, you know, for all the years that we have been up at the North Pole, it gets pretty cold up there for us all year round. And so, as you know, we actually live 6 months up at the North Pole and 6 months here in Eastwood. And we just love it. As a matter of fact, I do have to tell you a little secret.
Oh, good. I love secrets from the North Pole.
I brought Santa's secret naughty and nice book.
Oh, he let you leave with it?
Oh, yeah. Just as long as I get up there very soon. So he has this.
Wow.
But I have here a partial listing of Eastwood naughty and nice list. And I'm telling you, we live in Eastwood for a reason, because we have so many naughty people living there, and we have to work hard to keep them. So they just have a few hours to switch themselves over to the nice.
Are you going to let us read those names? No, they're secret.
It's a secret.
It's a secret. What's your home like up at the North Pole?
You know, you would be surprised at how complex it is up in the North Pole. Santa's village, some of it is actually under the ground. In fact, most of it is under the ground.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yes, and the reason why, well, it is huge complex. We have a huge dining hall where everybody eats together, and we actually serve family style. We have a gymnasium. I love playing pickleball with the elves.
That seems like a sight.
Yeah, we have our workshops. We even have covered pathways going from the kitchen to the stables and to the greenhouses. And we have, I think I said workshops there, the garage for the sleigh. We've got the barn for the reindeer. We've got everything, a library. We have a huge complex up there, and you know what? Nobody can really see it.
Well, and I know you have a post office up there.
Oh, yes.
You get lots of mail every year, I'm sure.
Oh, yes, yes.
So how is it that no one sees Santa's village?
Well, you know, the smokestacks from the factories, all that condensation forms a fog like a dome over the top of the complex.
Wow.
And so when people are flying over, they never see anything.
Oh
at
my
all.
goodness. Wow.
So what other questions might you have?
Well, just how did your hubby become Santa Claus?
You know, that's actually a two-part answer. You probably know about the Bishop of Myra. And back in 343 AD, he actually was then called St. Nicholas. And so now traveling to today, it's a cute little story. It's always about how children will lead him And a child really did help my husband to make a commitment. We were in Applebee's one day, and this little boy kept on looking at him, and it was just so sweet. And my husband was just so self-conscious, and he decided to get up and go to the restroom, and the grandmother called my hubby over and said, "My grandson thinks that you are Santa." And my husband laughed, and he walked into the restroom, and he looked in the mirror, and suddenly he saw Santa. And he came out, and he said, "You know, your grandson is very smart because I am Santa." And he tweaked his cheek, and he said, "You be good now."
Oh, wow.
And as we were leaving, that little boy got up and said, "Bye, Santa.
Aw.
Bye, Santa." And so that was his time
And the
of
rest
commitment.
is history. Wow.
Yes.
Well, what do you consider as being his greatest contribution, being a Santa or a gift giver?
Well, actually, I was proudest the day that he started a nonprofit called Santa Special Kids, and it is to help children and families with special needs. And we have, over the years, we gave so much help to those in need, and it brought so much joy to his heart. One of our favorite places is right down the street, Camp I Am Special. And that has always, that place has always been very special to us.
That's a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing that, and maybe our viewers can help with that contribution sometime with you and Santa.
We would love it.
Right. Do you have anything to show me in regards to the reindeer?
Well, did you want to know what they eat?
I would love to know, because I'm staring at this stuff and it has to be reindeer related.
Well, you know, they're flying for many, many hours. And how do they keep up their energy? And I will tell you that we all know Santa feeds them cookies. Okay.
Of course.
But we also will take this and put it around each reindeer's neck, and that's for their hay, and that should help to keep them going.
So that
for
bag
all
is
those
full of
hours.
hay.
Hay, and we also feed them apples, whole grains, carrots, just what, maybe not the hay, but the whole grains are what we should be eating.
That's very true. There seems to be a lot of controversy about your reindeer. Are they male or are they female?
Well, actually, they are all male except for Vixen. She is the only female. And I will say they still all lose their antlers once a year. And we love our team of reindeer.
Oh, well, what's there not to love? When the reindeer are busy, which is on Christmas Eve night, do they fly all night on Christmas Eve without any food or snacks? Or is it because you said you hang the feed bag around their neck that keeps them going?
That's exactly right. This is what we plan on this. Besides Santa feeding them cookies, we plan on that.
So we
to
have
help them.
snacks. That's great. So as we go through your village, we've talked about you and Santa and your village, and we've talked about the reindeer. But what about those elves? Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, we have hundreds of elves up there. We have to for all the toys.
I
and
was
things
wondering
that
how
we
many
have.
you had.
Yes, hundreds. And there is actually an elf village. And our favorite head elf, his name is Bernard. And I would like to say that I am sure that you have seen him here on campus because he is helping us all the time because we just can't do it all. And he comes down and helps us periodically. I'm sure you'd like to know who it is who watches over the reindeer.
Reindeer, right.
And that is High Step. Yeah. And he is wonderful. He not only plays, but feeds and does do a lot of training for the reindeer.
So Bernard is your head elf,
Yes.
and High Step
High
takes
Step.
care of the elf or the reindeer.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. Can you share another secret with us? How old is Santa Claus?
Well, Santa Claus is actually, as of this year, 1,750 years old. Exactly. It's a time to celebrate.
I don't even know how to react to that. I mean, the man looks great. That's fantastic. So that's how old he is, but how did the two of you meet?
Well, you know, Santa being known as the gift giver, and the Bishop of Myra was a gift giver, and he had many miracles. And so Santa was looking around, and he kept his eyes on me, I guess, because I too am a gift giver. I just love to bake and give away and have gifts for folks all the time. I try and bake for most everybody over in Eastwood, and anybody who asks, I'm right there for them. And I think that's what he saw, was that I too was a gift giver. And so ever since then, when he asked for my hand in marriage, and I love the man dearly.
Aw.
We have been rocking around the Christmas tree ever since.
That's fantastic. What a lovely story. Sounds like you're a real match.
We are.
Do you have children?
You know, we would like to believe and think that all of the children in the world are our children.
You do have plenty of children, don't you?
Yeah.
You sure have a lot of children that love you. So I need you to tell me another secret. How do you stay looking so young? You're just beautiful.
Oh, that's so nice of you. I'll tell you the truth. You know what? It's living here in Westminster Woods, because we all have a common goal of happiness and love. And I'll tell you what, love and happiness keeps you young at heart.
You're so right. That's good to know that you're happy at Westminster. I'm going to have to talk to marketing because I need to get here so I can get young again. Before we end, what is Santa's favorite cookie? You say you do all kinds of baking. What kind of cookies does he like?
Well, you know, he has a lot of favorites. He absolutely loves chocolate chip, but he adores Oreos, and he loves snickerdoodles.
Okay, so that leads me to another question. Don't the two of you have two pets?
Yes, we do.
And they're puppies, they're dogs?
Yes, they are.
And what are their names?
Oreo and Snickerdoodle.
Isn't that fantastic, folks?
Because Santa loves cookies.
That's great. All right, now do you...
I'm sorry, I've never seen him turn one down.
Of course not. Now, do you have a story to tell us?
I do, actually. This is something that happened in the Avenues Mall when Santa was there. This is a story about Melissa. And she came to see Santa. The mall was jam-packed full of people. She came to see Santa to ask him for several different things. And she read through her list, and my husband then turned to her and said, Melissa, isn't there something else on your list? And she said, yes, Santa, I would like my daddy to return from Afghanistan for Christmas. And so Santa asked her to close her eyes and say 3 times, I want my daddy home for Christmas. I want my daddy home for Christmas. I want my daddy home for Christmas. And then she opened up her eyes, and she happened to be looking this way, and the Christmas tree was over to the right side, and her daddy came out, and she couldn't see him. And so Santa sat there, just kept on turning his head, looking and back, turning his head and looking and back. And finally, it drew her attention, and she turned and looked and saw her daddy, and it was just, they were entwined in happiness from that point on. It was a beautiful moment, and I'll tell you right now, a good man is never afraid to shed a tear.
Well, that was very touching. That's a lovely story. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
And we thank Santa for doing that for that little girl.
Yeah, he still has tears anytime he tells that story.
I bet.
Well, you know, it's getting very, very close for me having to leave because I need to get back up to the North Pole.
I know you do, but I do have one last question.
Yes.
How does Santa do it all in one night?
Well, you know, that is interesting because I can answer that question because I set up his GPS.
Oh, he uses a GPS.
Oh, it's right on his sleigh.
Wow.
We do have some modern technology up there.
Well, you probably have to these days.
And so he actually starts at the international date line. And right there's a little island called Christmas Island. And it's small. It only has maybe about 5,000 people on it. And after that, the biggest city he goes to next is Auckland in New Zealand. And then it actually takes him just 27 hours to finish up, and he's at the Aleutian Islands, and at the very last one, which is called Atu, they make a big breakfast for him and for the reindeer to celebrate the completion of Christmas Eve and happiness to the world. And so that's how Santa gets it all done.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for all of this enlightening facts about everything we've always wondered about Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
There's plenty more.
I'm going to make my list for next year.
All right. Well, you know, I just want to tell everybody at Westminster Woods, have a very Merry Christmas, and to all a good night.
We love you, Mrs. Claus. Make sure and tell Santa I've been good.